Hello, my name is Tanya Alexander. I'm a registered nurse for the state of Texas as well as New York. Neither of these states are strangers to disaster. On September the 11th, 2001, New York City was attacked by bioterrorists, destroying the World Trade Center and damaging the Pentagon, as well as hijacking a plane that merely crashed in a field in Pennsylvania. More than 3,000 people were killed, injuring more than 400 firefighters, police officers, and medically trained staff. Many of us have not forgotten that day, and I, for one, know that it changed my life. I left my job and decided to start a new career as a nurse. My second degree as a nurse, upon graduation, I joined an HCA facility. And once again, I was faced with another tragedy. On August the 29th, 2005, Hurricane Rita hit the Gulf Coast with winds more than 125 to 140 miles per hour, damaging Louisiana. More than 2,000 people were injured and killed. A book written by Bill Carey was given to me. It's called No One Left Behind. It discussed those HCA employees who were dedicated to staying behind and helping those that were mobily impaired. Today I want to talk to you about those that are mobily impaired and how we can make a difference. Not only was the medical staff aware of the difficulties that a natural disaster can take, but it really goes to show that those of us that do have mental impairments can be hit hard. In the case of 9/11, it was a human event. In the case of Hurricane Katrina, it was a natural disaster. According to the National Center for Health Statistics, more than 48.9 million Americans have disabilities. In the year 2010, more than 6 million Americans over the age of 85 have disabilities. Disabilities come in a variety of forms. You can be impaired by hearing, speech, cognitive impairment, mobility impairment, and today, once again, we want to start a plan of action for those with impaired mobility. We ask ourselves, what is the emergency? Is the emergency a hurricane? Is it an earthquake? Is it a fire? Is it a bomb threat? Is it human-made? Which way is out? How will we get out? Can I get out independently, or will I need someone to help rescue me? Will I need an assistance? Who, what, when, where, and how? For those who work and for those who live in the community, how will we get out in the event of a disaster? For those with crutches and walkers, canes and powered wheelchairs and scooters, a need for an unobstructed pathway is important. We want to make sure that there's no debridement in your way. Power outages. We can't use elevators. How will we get out of that building if the power is out? After 9/11, some elevator companies placed new elevators which had sensors in their system to indicate when there's fire or when there's an earthquake. And you can still use these elevators even though there's a fire. Many buildings do not have this extensive elevator system. Exit signs in buildings should be well lit. Does your office or your job have a officer safety captain? Does your department have a captain? You need to network with your company to make sure that you let them know of your disability. Let them know that you need to have 2 or 3 people that you can depend on to help you get out in the event of an emergency. Somebody might be out on vacation, so you need to fall back on the second person. That person may be out to lunch if the emergency comes. Another person may be able to help. So make sure that you have enough people within your networking circle to help you get out of the building. Since 9/11, buildings are providing escape routes and providing brochures to those visitors that come to buildings. Have you ever gone to the Empire State Building? Have you once thought about how you would get out of that building in the event of an emergency? Even Walt Disney, upon visiting during your vacation, when they hand you a visitor's brochure, not only does it tell you about the different places on the map that you can visit, but it also allows you an escape route in the event of an emergency, as well as those who have disabilities. In the corporate world, assisting or assigning a safety officer and department captain is very helpful in ensuring that everyone gets out of the building safely and that no one is left behind. Not only is it good to have a safety officer with your employee, but the same concept goes for your community. Make sure that you get with your neighbor and you let them know, in the event of an emergency, can I depend on you to help me get out of my home? Before, during, and after a disaster, Bloom's taxonomy helps to create a plan of action that ensures you get to safety. Networking with your neighbors to create this plan, evaluating it by brainstorming and coming up with ideas between your networking group will ensure everyone's safety, including those with mobility impairments. Ensure that it will work for your safety and the safety of others. Analyze it with every detail. Apply it to your lifestyle and make sure that you understand it and how this plan will work for you. And lastly, remember your plan when it is needed. By creating a networking group requires you to reduce your anxiety. It requires you to come together as a community to help you in an event of a disaster. Analyzing is nothing more than your personal assessment. How will you escape? Is the battery life on your powered wheelchair? When will it, how long will it last? Your power cords, do you have a power cord to take with you? Will you need assistance? Plan those highest priorities first with the lowest priority last. If you're on a multi-level apartment complex, how will you get out? How will you get down? Are the elevators power operated? What about sprinkler systems? If the sprinkler systems go off, will they get your wheelchair wet? Will it cause a power shortage to your wheelchair? Wheelchairs can certainly have shortages when they are wet. Get phone numbers of your networking team and make sure that you keep in contact with them. Get new phone numbers in the event that they change. In the event of a fire, how would you escape and how will you get out? Will the ramp be blocked? Could the ramp possibly be on fire? Make sure that you have a safe route and a safe route to get out of your home. When preparing for a networking team, does the community have a warning system? Some places that are near chemical plants have a warning horn that they will blow in the event of a disaster. This may not be in your community, so make sure that you know, does your community have a warning system? Those with disabilities can also register at your local emergency medical offices so that these offices can check on you in the event of an emergency. As part of your networking plan, be sure to include an out-of-town contact person so that you can call upon them and let them know I'm okay and my whereabouts are at XYZ. Therefore, your out-of-town relatives that want to check on you and can't get through because the lines are down, they can always call the out-of-town contact person to gather information. You can call upon those contact person and give details every time you're updated with new ones. Remember, not all disasters are the same, and in a hurricane, you need to get to the lowest point of the lowest ground possible. Get to an interior wall, one that doesn't have windows, so that you're safe from any flying particles or glass. In an event of a fire, get out as quickly as possible. And remember, don't return or never return to a burning building. A firefighter and the fire officers will let you know when it is safe to return back to the building when everything is clear. Next time you enter a public building or structure, take notice. How can I get out? How can I get help? And how can I help someone that's disabled? How can I escape? How can I offer a neighbor assistance in their need of help in the community? And always remember, leave no one behind. Following this presentation, I have some brochures with checklists that were provided by FEMA, the Red Cross, and the National Fire Protection Agency. Please take one. This will help you in the future for preparing and being ready for the next disaster. Thank you.